Okay. All right. Thank you for joining me in the dance break. That is the power of motion. We shook off some stiffness, got our hearts pumping, woke up our brains, and that little burst wasn't just for fun, although it was fun. It was a live demonstration of what we're talking about today, the power of motion. You all know me. I'm Karen Mays, health and happiness coach. And what I'm here to share with you today is that movement does more than burn calories. It clears your mind, it releases stress, and it opens the door to creativity and resilience. You've just felt it. In less than 2 minutes, we went from sitting to energized and alert. And here's why I love this topic. Movement, nutrition, micro habits, they're business tools, not just feel good wellness hobbies, although that's great too. But if your blood sugar is swinging or your blood pressure's creeping up, it's not just a health issue, it's a business issue. Fatigue, brain fog, and mood swings, they drain our productivity, our creativity, and our leadership. Taking control of our metabolic health could be our secret competitive advantage. So, in our time together today, we'll explore how movement can transform your health, your mood, and even your business outcomes. You don't have to be a gym rat, but you do have to become intentional, and I'm going to help show you how. So, let's take a collective deep breath now. Hold at the top and exhale like you're blowing out a birthday candle. One more time. Inhale, hold at the top, and exhale. Now, feel your feet on the floor, your seat in your chair, and let that steady, rooted energy spread through you and settle into a calm focus. Feel yourself arrive fully into the room. There are really two primary energies in life, the energy of expansion and the energy of contraction. And when we feel unhappy, fearful, low energy, alone, we're contracted. When we're expanded, we might say we're happy, we're energized, content, hopeful, in flow. You get the idea. And these energies show up in our bodies. And even as I'm describing them to you, I feel myself shifting. With awareness, we can start to influence and even nurture our state of expansion or contraction. It's hard to feel good when we're contracted, and it's hard to feel bad when we're expanded. And simply telling ourselves to suck it up, buttercup, it doesn't work. Try something else with me. You guys have been playing along so beautifully. Let's all curl up into a little ball, cross your arms, hunch over, and on the count of three, say, I feel happy. One, two, three. I feel happy. Okay, sit up. Did you feel happy? Probably not really. It's hard to feel happy in that state. And now let's do the opposite. Open your arms wide, put on a big smile, and on the count of three, say, I feel depressed. One, two, three. I feel depressed. Okay, relax. Did you feel depressed? Probably not really, because when we're expanded, it's hard to feel that way. Now, I don't recommend walking around like this all day long. That's probably not good for business either. But the idea is to become aware of when we're feeling expanded and maybe contracted, and then we can consciously move toward what expands us. You're going to find yourself using this awareness to shape how you manage and nurture your energetic state. And let me tell you why this topic matters to me. I came to the study of happiness through a health journey. And at first, through the health lens, I focused almost entirely on nutrition. It worked. The pounds came off, and I learned how being carb conscious stabilized my energy and helped me feel better. Sleep came a little bit slower. That lesson kind of crept up on me. My kids were little at the time, and I used to stay up till 1 a.m. And after days of dragging myself through the next morning and then making poor choices as the day went on, I finally started going to bed when they did. My energy and my habits improved almost overnight. Exercise took even longer to click. For years, I'd grind out workouts. For a few weeks, and then I'd stop. I'd fall off the wagon, so to speak. I trained for 5Ks. I tried new programs, but I always wound up frustrated. And then I read a book. I actually heard about it in a meeting like this a couple years ago. It's called The Joy of Movement by Kelly McGonigal, and it changed everything for me. I stopped thinking of movement as a chore and I started seeing it as a joy. I began noticing the breeze on my shoulders and how much I loved being in the open air. I noticed that feel good shift waiting for me around the 18-minute mark. I was finally aware of the simple pleasure of moving. I also realized that movement can take many forms. Of course, there's walking, dancing, rowing machine classes, which I loved. Pleasure and consistency matter far more than perfection. By the way, I used to think that consistency was perfection, but that's the subject of another talk. This new focus on the felt and acknowledged rewards of exercise reframed movement as a source of fuel for myself, for my life, not just a chore or a box to check off. The power of motion. Movement has been like a bridge between my health, my happiness, and my business. It's how I stay focused. It's how I keep my mood steady and build persistence. And that's what I want to share with you today. But before we go there, I want to ask, anybody have a dog? If you have a dog, put your dog's name in the chat. Any pet, really, but I love to hear what people name their dogs. I need to see the chat actually. Watkins and oh my gosh, Watkins and Rambo is so cute. Jeter. Baseball fan, Jean, Jean. Oh my goodness. These names are too much. I love them. Okay. Well, you're going to love this. I named my dog 5 miles, so I can tell people I walk 5 miles every day. Not really. That's a joke, but I love it. If only that's all it took. I love a cute joke, obviously. And I really love your pets' names. They're so cute. Aviva's is Bailey. Oh my goodness. If only that were all it took. Um, but when it comes to our health, and it's best to skip the shortcuts. So let's jump in with a little knowledge check. Which of these habits is most strongly linked to entrepreneurial persistence? Is it A, watching motivational videos? B, regular exercise? C, cold plunges? Or D, reading business and leadership books? Put your guesses in the chat. I think you guys are going to do really well. I'm seeing B. Yeah, D. Yeah, okay. So, well, none of these is bad, I'll say. But the one that has been linked to entrepreneurial persistence is regular exercise. That's right. It's not just good for your body, it's good for your business. A study in the Journal of Business Venturing found that entrepreneurs who exercise regularly are more likely to persist after setbacks when compared to their non exercising counterparts. Movement boosts blood flow to our brains, clears out stress hormones, and releases feel good chemicals that sharpen focus, spark creativity, and build emotional resilience. In other words, it fuels persistence. And while 30 minutes of moderate exercise 5 times a week is the gold standard for healthy adults, the truth is that tiny bursts absolutely count. Even 2 minutes of movement can shift you from contracted to expanded. And that's why we started with the dance break today. So next time you're stuck or tempted to quit, don't just think harder. Move your body. Motion creates emotion, and movement fuels momentum. Next question. For health and longevity, strength training at least how many days per week is recommended? Hint, it's a number between 0 and 7, inclusive. So what do you think? I see 3, I see 5, another 3. Love that. Okay. The answer is 2, which is less than I would have thought, right? At least 2 days a week per of strength training covering all major muscle groups is recommended for healthy adults. Get this, just 2 days of strength training a week can cut your risk of dying from any cause by about 20%. That's a lot. A stronger, steadier you means a stronger, steadier business. So go ahead and take your next meeting at the gym. Tell them Coach Karen said it was okay. Okay, you guys are doing great, and you're making this so much fun. True or false? Walking for a few minutes after a meal is a nice thing to do, but it's not enough to have any real health benefits. Is that true or false? Yeah, you guys got it. It is false. Research suggests that even 2 to 5 minutes of light movement, like walking or even standing or swaying after a meal, can help to moderate blood sugar spikes. And over time, consistent movement can improve insulin sensitivity. That's pretty exciting and pretty motivating to get me moving after my next meal. And here's the final exam. Are you ready? The research is in, And the most beneficial form of exercise is put your put your guesses in the chat. Could it be running? I see cardio, walking, maybe it's weightlifting, HIIT exercises. Hmm, the answer is the one you will consistently do. Ta-da! Yes, womp womp. It's the one we're actually going to do. Consistency comes from enjoyment, and enjoyment is expansive. And I know there's an enjoyable, pleasing version of an exercise routine for everyone. You think you're the exception? Think again and book me for a chat. James Clear says it best. Habits are the compound interest of self improvement. Just like adding $1 a day to your savings account, each small deposit builds on itself. At first, the deposits look inconsequential, but as the dollars stack up, the interest compounds, growth becomes exponential. In the same way, 2 minutes of movement may not seem like much in the moment. It's just as easy to not do it as it is to do it. But when it's stacked consistently, it reshapes your health, your energy, and your resilience. Tiny actions yield massive returns. So you get to choose. Will it be death by 1,000 cuts or transformation by 1,000 tiny shifts? And so I ask you, what's your next move? I have some ideas to get you started. First of all, bring a beginner's mind and an experimental mindset to this process. Try something and see how it feels. It might be 10 squats per hour, a quick posture and energy reset. And if you want to see the study that shows how beneficial that one is, ask me for the chat. Ask me for it, and I'll get it to you afterwards. A 2 minute dance break, just like we did today. Shake off stress and spark creativity. The benefits are so many. You can even do this while you're waiting for the kettle to boil, or a 10-minute walk after meals. It supports digestion, steady blood sugar, and it clears your head. So here's your commitment cue. What are you going to try first? And when will you start? Declare your intention. Dare to be accountable. And here's one thing to reflect on as I wrap up for today. If I were to take a little more responsibility for my health today, I would. What would you do? It could be an action, like some of the ones we just talked about. It could be setting yourself up for success to take an action. It could be journaling. It could be deciding what's for dinner. It could be going to the grocery store. So, what's that small step that you could take in the right direction if you were to decide to take a little more responsibility for your health today? Nancy says, dance more. I love that. Well, here's one way you can take a little more responsibility right now. Join my happiness community on Facebook. It's free. It's my happiness playground. We do challenges, we share happy sparks. We provide a place where it's okay to feel good about feeling good and also to help each other feel better. You'll also be the first to know about any workshops, classes, and other opportunities to sharpen your health and happiness skills. This is a practice. It's not a one-time event, kind of like showering. I'll put the link to the group in the chat. I have a happiness hangout, excuse me, coming up on October 10th. I'll put that in the chat as well. And also, I'd love to catch up with all of you on a face-to-face. So I'll put that in the chat as well. I have one more thing for us to do together, and it's called Spread Loving Kindness. And it comes from my happiness training. If you'll join me in this, I would be so grateful. Sit comfortably where you are. If you're able to do so, close your eyes. Take slow, deep breaths, being aware of the breath as it enters and leaves your body. Let your thoughts come and go easily. And repeat these phrases silently to yourselves. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. Continue feeling these wishes toward yourself for a minute until you sense that sense of peace inside you. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. And now let's expand to our friends and family. Allow yourself to picture people closest to you and send them wishes. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. Send that loving kindness out. And now, one step further, let's send these kind, loving wishes to all living beings around the world. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. And may you live with ease. And when you're ready, open your eyes, come back to the room. I'm so thankful. And as Bruce Lee once said, be water, my friends. Water adapts, it flows, and over time, it carves canyons. And that's what our daily movements and habits can do. They can carve our future health, our energy, and our business resilience. So be water, my friends, and make your next move. That's it from me, Glow. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so very much, Karen. That was really, really good. I mean, I'm very, very impressed with the information. I don't know, I'm sure everybody else is too, but I love that we put such a or that you put such a emphasis on motion, and the whole movement. I had just shared yesterday, you shared the quote with Bruce Lee. I shared a quote yesterday. I was the facilitator at the